Alright, guys. It is Sunday, January 9th, 2022 at 7:28 p.m. Eastern Time. Alright, let's take a look at daily verses, the night verse of the day. It says, "Blessed are all who fear the Lord, who walk in obedience to him." Psalm 128, verse 1. Alright, let's start with strange sounds. We have 10 people dead, 32 injured after a cliff collapsed on boats in Brazil in terrifying videos. Pretty spooky to see this giant cliff just fall off the side of the cliff face and just crush boats. Pretty spooky. Alright, next, Snowmageddon buries Leavenworth in Washington in more than 3 feet of snow in 24 hours, while at least 22 freeze to death after thousands of cars are trapped in 4 feet of snow in Pakistan overnight. So a lot of snow going around. We got Washington and Pakistan both having a lot of snow. Alright, also, panic after a strong and shallow magnitude 6.6 earthquake hits northwestern China, animals and people going crazy in video and pictures. Alright, also, a wolf volcano, the tallest in the Galapagos Island, erupts, spewing a cloud of ash and gas of 12,444 feet over the Pacific Ocean. So, heads up for the people living around the Wolf volcano in the Galapagos Islands. That volcano is definitely erupting. Alright, the US has 5 rabies deaths last year, the highest total in a decade. 3 deaths in the last 3 months. So a lot of rabies and bats going around with rabies. Alright, also extremely rare human case of bird flu detected in the UK, as 1 million birds have been culled in a bid to halt the spread in Lincolnshire. So that's a lot of animals or birds being culled or killed just because one person has a case of possible bird flu. Alright. Next, we have COVID vaccines do disrupt menstrual cycles, a new study reveals. This is from Zero Hedge. It says getting COVID-19 vaccine has been linked to a change in menstrual cycle among women per a new study. Dr. Allison Eldman of the Oregon Health and Science University and other researchers studied cycles among 2,403 vaccinated and 1,456 unvaccinated women and concluded that vaccination was associated with a change in the cycle length. So the change was pegged in under 1 day. No change in menses length was detected. Researchers said that the vaccines that use messenger RNA technology, both Pfizer and Moderna, do trigger an immune response which could temporarily affect the hypothalamic pituitary ovarian axis function, and the study results support the hypothesis. Our findings are reassuring. We find no population level clinically meaningful change in menstrual cycle length associated with COVID vaccination. Our findings support and help explain the self-reports of changes in cycle length. Individuals receiving 2 COVID-19 vaccine doses in a single cycle do appear to experience a longer but temporary cycle length change. So heads up, ladies, your cycles could be changing if you do take the vaccine. Alright, next. Chaos reigns in schools from Chicago to New York City as thousands of students miss classes. In Chicago, parents and students are anxiously waiting to hear whether school will finally resume on Monday or be canceled for a 4th straight day, as City Hall and Mayor Lori Lightfoot continue to negotiate with the Chicago Teachers Union, which is demanding that the city spend more money it doesn't have on COVID tested and PPE, as well as more stringent restrictions on student behavior and social distancing to keep teachers safe from Omicron. Chicago Public Schools said in the latest communique that it would try to update parents as soon as possible about the state of negotiations and breakthrough once that has been achieved, Bloomberg reports. CPS is committed to working toward the agreement with the Chicago Teachers Union throughout the weekend and are dedicated to working today and night to get the students back to school next week. hopefully on Monday, the district said by a statement late on Friday. So who knows if Chicago will get classes back up or if they will go through their computers. All right, next. 19 killed, including 9 children, in the deadliest New York City fire in decades. The blaze started by a space heater. Authorities have confirmed that a deadly Bronx apartment complex fire that killed at least 19 people, including 9 children, was started by a malfunctioning space heater. The New York City Mayor Eric Adams disclosed during a press conference on Sunday evening 32 people have been hospitalized and 60 were injured in total. One reason the fire's death toll was high was because of the smoke, not the flames, which were mostly confined to one apartment. The fire itself started in an apartment and spanned the second and third floors of the building and only made it to the hall, officials said. But smoke still spread to every floor of the building, likely because the door of the apartment was left open and victims suffered from significant smoke inhalation. The city's fire department commissioner Daniel Negro told reporters at the news briefing members found victims on every floor in stairwells and were taking them out in cardiac and respiratory arrest. Fire marshals have determined throughout physical evidence and accounts from residents the fire started in a portable electric heater in the apartment bedroom. He added that the heat had been on the apartment building and that the portable heater had been supplementing the heating. So please have these families in prayers because that's a lot of people who passed away. Alright, next. The Taliban threatened the U.S. with 2,000 suicide bombers in Washington, D.C. A recent report by the Middle East Media Research, which monitors and tracks global jihadist communications via open source intelligence collection methods, has detailed that the last year the Taliban threatened the Biden administration with a battalion of suicide bombers sent to Washington, D.C. This was the threat of warning reportedly relayed simultaneously with prior Doha talks when it emerged the Pentagon was contemplating a massive security force of more than 2,000 troops to guard at all time Operation American Embassy in Kabul. According to the Mary report, the December 2021, it was also emerged that the Islamic Emirate told the United States during talks that the U.S. insisted on deploying 2,000 American troops and its embassy in Kabul. The Taliban will also deploy, as part of any bilateral agreement, 2,000 suicide bombers at the Afghan embassy in Washington, D.C. So that is pretty spooky to hear. I'll leave you guys the link so you guys can check out and read the rest of that article. Alright, next, let's go to the next 5 asteroid approaches. These are the closest Earth approach next 5 asteroids from Jet Propulsion Laboratory, California Institute of Technology from NASA. We have asteroid 2022 AE2 with approximate size of 75 feet, about the size of an airplane, with the closest Earth approach of 1,100,000 miles from Earth. The date it will pass will be January 9th, 2022. The next asteroid is asteroid 2022 AN, 48 feet in size, about the size of a house. The closest Earth approach is 1,130,000 miles from Earth. Excuse me. On January 9th, 2022. The next asteroid is 2022 AZ, about 190 feet in approximate size, about an airplane. The closest Earth approach is 2 million miles from Earth, and it will be passing by on January 10th, 2022. The next asteroid is 2017 AM13, about 110 feet in approximate size, about the size of an airplane. The closest Earth approach is 4,210,000 miles from Earth, and it will be passing by Earth on January 10th, 2022. Then the last asteroid, 2013 YD48, approximate size 340 feet, about the size of a building. The closest Earth approach is 3,480,000 miles from Earth. It will be passing by Earth on January 11th, 2022. So that's the top 5 close Earth approach asteroids. Please stay safe out there. Pray for the people who had encountered that fire in New York. Please pray for everybody because everybody needs prayers. And please stay safe out there, guys. God bless you, and see you guys next time. God bless.